The next challenger is from Monterrey, Mexico. It's the Silicon Valley of Mexico. A great place to visit. I've been there. We had some great food. Ender Frias, I worked with Ender in 2012, 2013. They had a clinical EMR, cloud-based they developed it, they were launching in the US. They asked me to come down and be their COO and help them launch. It was both financial and clinical. He's done a lot of work with data warehouses, and when I spread the word about the challenge, he started looking at Sertainty's technology in about a month ago. And he went to the developer portal, and within a week, he had studied the videos, the code, and he started showing us examples. His English is great, but he used a voice translation tool to make it very clear, so there weren't any issues with language. He speaks both Spanish and English. He's a great resource if you need someone down in South America on top of it. Brilliant guy, and he's going to show you his new company and his new solution for ETL and data warehousing, incorporating the Sertainty technology.
Good afternoon. I'll start by laying out what I am going to show today. My presentation is divided in 4 parts. I'll start with a quick introduction about myself, and how I got to the idea that I'll show today. Then, I'll show a high-level layout of the whole process. Next, I'll show an example of the end result, your data secure and ready to be analyzed. And finally, I'll demonstrate the whole working cycle using Sertainty's technology. Let me briefly introduce myself. My name is Ender Frias, and I am delighted to be here today to talk to you about my tech challenge solution and how I got the idea. The solution that I am proposing was inspired by a personal need of information related to COVID-19 cases in Mexico. On February 2, 2020, my firstborn was 3 years old, and our youngest son just arrived to this world. He was born with a low count of blood platelets. When my baby turned 3 weeks old, we started hearing more about this deadly virus, but nothing official, but I knew that something that was affecting many countries would eventually get into Mexico, and my son's condition made him specially fragile for an unknown virus. Also, not really knowing how things were in public nor private hospitals, we were too afraid to risk our baby by taking him into a probable focus of contagion, so this situation also affected his first vaccines, making him vulnerable to other diseases. Eventually the Mexican government started talking about the virus, but without the seriousness it deserved, and every night they gave a simple report on the Mexican cases. I needed to have more information to get to my own conclusions, needed to know how I could protect my family and keep my friends properly informed. By this time the government started releasing the COVID cases in Excel files every day, so I decided to take their official information and work with it. When I finished, I was able to know the mortality rate in Mexico. I could know how it was in the public and private sectors, and even at a state and county level. I felt safe taking my baby with a private pediatrician in a county that didn't have any infections. He got his vaccines in his first checkup. It was staggering for me how, having all this information, the government only released general numbers. This is the power of knowledge, taking informed decisions. Can you imagine how many companies have critical, non-analyzed information sitting in their database? Information that could be beneficial for both the company and their customers. This is a product that any company could benefit from, but who would dare to risk to share their data through internet without any kind of safety net? What if they don't want anyone from outside their perimeter into their systems? Even if they allow the connection, there are certain steps where the data would be highly vulnerable at rest and, more importantly, in flight. How can they release their information with the uncertainty of how their data is being used? This is where Sertainty's technology comes into place, making a perfect fit for any company that needs to share sensitive data over internet. Step 1. The extraction tool extracts data from your company's database or files. Step 2. The extraction tool saves the extracted files into Sertainty's Auto Protect source directory. Step 3. Sertainty's Data Protector detects the recently added files and starts generating a secure object. Step 4. Sertainty's Data Protector saves the secure object into Sertainty's Auto Protect outbound directory. This directory is also configured as a Dropbox directory. Step 5. Dropbox sends the recently added secure object to internet to be synced with anyone who has access to this directory. Notice how the data traveled securely over internet, and it will be accessible only to those with access to it. Step 6. Data is received and synced in an authorized server. The data will automatically be placed in a Sertainty's Auto on Protect inbound directory. Step 7. Sertainty Auto Unprotect tool takes the protected objects, validates that the recipient is allowed to have access to the contents, and proceeds to unprotect the data into an outbound directory. In this step, if the file is in an unauthorized location, like somewhere in Europe, it would self-destruct. Step 8. With the data secure in our servers, we proceed to the transformation of the data. And when the transformation is over, we upload the data into a data warehouse where it will be ready to be analyzed. Imagine having all your data accessible to your company's specialists to take informed decisions. For us to convert your data into information, and your expertise turning that information into wisdom. With a data warehouse, an agile ETL or ELT process, and a powerful business intelligence tool, you can access the latest information your company has produced and turn it into actionable decisions. Imagine having the data generated by your business in such a clean and ordered way that it would allow you to answer any question you have about your business in seconds. Imagine having critical metrics in shareable dashboards accessible from any device, this to help you to keep a close eye on critical metrics. I am going to show a live example of how easy we can get the most of our data. I'll use Mexico's COVID-19 information stored in our data warehouse. I'll start by asking a simple question: how many total tests has been done in the whole country? Now, let's get this by test result. Notice how easy we can drill down in our data to get more specific information. From the positive cases, let's drill down and get the patients with hypertension. From here, we are interested in getting the death rate of that group of cases. So we drill down the patients with our deceased dimension. Let's modify the visualization to a pie chart. Interesting. A death rate of 25% is a clear indicator. Let's save this question and keep on investigating. Okay, let's add another dimension to our research. Let's add age. Now let's adjust the visualization so we can see the death rate by age. Whoa, the mortality rate is way higher the older the patient. I'll add this indicator to my dashboard so I can keep an eye on it. And just like that, we could get to this gem, an important metric hidden among our data. Going from a macro piece of information, like all the tests done in a whole country, to this specific case in less than 2 minutes. That's the beauty of having your data accessible directly to you, in an easy and intuitive way. No need of expensive data analysts, no need of expensive data engineers. And it doesn't matter the industry your company is in, the opportunity of taking advantage of your own information is priceless. I am going to demonstrate a working flow of our secure data extraction process, and how to share the files securely over Internet with Sertainty's Data Protect technology. I am going to trigger the extraction tool process. This process can be triggered manually, automatically in a recurring schedule, or by data sensors which will trigger the process when it detects new data is available. This is the task workflow. Here you will be able to monitor and manage every extraction task. It is important to mention that using this extraction tool will not require any code. We just need to modify a configuration file and specify the data source location, the target file location, and the type of extraction. The types of extraction can be queries to a database, data downloaded from Internet, compressed files processing, Excel books processing, among many other. After the extraction tool finishes with all the required extractions, all dependencies required to move the files to Sertainty's inbound data auto protect directory will be met, and it will simply start the process. As you can see, all the files are now located in Sertainty's inbound data auto protect directory. Immediately after, Sertainty's Data Protect will detect and process the files. This will generate a secure object that can only be opened by authorized recipients. The secured objects will be placed in Sertainty's Data Protect outbound directory. In this demo, this outbound directory is a Dropbox directory which will automatically upload all the secure objects to the Internet. Having the data securely moved through Internet, our second workflow will automatically start in a remote secure server. Dropbox will first synchronize the protected files to our server. This time, the Dropbox directory is configured as Sertainty's Auto Unprotect inbound directory. After the file is fully synced, Sertainty's Auto Unprotect will kick in and process the files and place them in a directory accessible by our ETL tool. Notice how the secure file is destroyed when doing this process. When all the files are auto unprotected by Sertainty's technology, the ETL file sensor will detect the new files and will trigger the process automatically. All the tasks seen in this example were automatically created based on configuration files. From extracting data from any kind of source, and sending it securely over the internet, to loading it into automatically created data warehouses or data lakes without a single line of code. Whole data marts made from zero, ready to be analyzed in hours or days, all this to give you visibility about relevant and precise information to help you take strategic decisions, at a fraction of what a data engineer's team would charge to accomplish the same goal. And thanks to Sertainty's technology, you can rest knowing that your data is safe, even on the internet.
Okay, we're gonna, do we have Ender up for any questions? Thank you. I'm just checking with the judges here.
We'll start here in the room too.
Is this a pilot? What is it that he's designed, or is this going to be a business model? Is this an MPV?
Ender, can you hear us okay?
I couldn't listen to the question, sorry.
Yeah, okay, so I'll let Judge Robin question.
So where are you in your phase of implementation? Are you getting to put this in as a business idea, or is this just a test case of using the Sertainty technology? Just trying to understand where you are in your journey of development.
Okay, this idea has been in the works for the past 8 months, and fortunately, Sertainty's technologies fit perfectly with what I was working with. As Fred mentioned at the beginning, I've been a friend of his well, not a friend, yes, a friend for the last 7-8 years. So he helped me or advised me to participate in this event. So the technology is so easy to use that I just managed to implement it with what I'm working with. It took me a couple of weeks just to figure things out. And once everything figured out, I could just install it in a couple of hours, really. And the step where I'm right now is just the product is finished, is ready to be commercialized, even using Sertainty's technology. But I haven't done that yet. I'm just starting.
Launched his company and his logo over the past 2 weeks, and he has made the video. I mean, we were so impressed, David and I, about how easy it was for him to go to our developer portal, look at the videos, get the code, play with it, make a video. It just was a true testimonial to how our technology can be easily used. So we're going to look at some other judges' questions here. Ender, this is coming from Judge Chris. Can you talk about where the data is stored? No, I'm sorry, that was from the last talk. Judge Alex, how would this ETL and dashboard function interact with data available from outside your organization?
Well, the extraction process can extract information from any source, really. The way I created this is that we can have multiple sources. We can have the source, like the database of the company. We can have sources from files, from FTP servers, from APIs, you name it. So that will be the source. We can just extract from the information from there, transform it, and load it into our data warehouse. I don't know if that answered the question.
I think that's good. We've got less than a minute, Ender. Thank you so much. Great job. I hope your babies are good. And we really appreciate it. It brings the international aspect that Sertainty is looking for, and you knocked it out. You did a great job. So congratulations.
Very good.